ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸਚ ਦੰਡੌਤ ਬੰਧਨ ਅਨੇਕ ਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਦੰਡੌਤ ਬੰਧਨ ਅਨੇਕ ਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਛ ਹਉ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਿਛ ਆਹੇ ਨ ਮੋਰਾ ਔਸਰ ਲੱਜਾ ਰਾਖ ਲਿਹੋ ਸਦਨਾ ਜਨ ਤੋਰਾ ਮੈਂ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਛ ਹਉ ਨਾਹੀ ਕਿਛ ਆਹ ਨ ਮੋਰਾ ਔਸਰ ਲੱਜਾ ਰਾਖ ਲਿਹੋ ਸਦਨਾ ਜਨ ਤੋਰਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Can we try one more time? ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Very basic. ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਤਿਹ ਦਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਫਤਿਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਆ to answer the ਫਤਿਹ with ਫਤਿਹ। ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। So we are very grateful to Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. I'm entirely grateful that Maharaj ne sanu time sir ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਤਾ because we just finished the course camp in Birmingham and we rushed from Birmingham to reach here and to do your sangat, to have your blessings. So that's entirely Guru Sahib's blessings on us. So we are here today to continue the vichar on Basant ki Vaar that we started last week. So pichle hafte we had a Raag Kirtan Darbar for Raag Basant in conjunction with the season Basant Rut. And so we did an introduction on the Raag Basant and also a bit on Basant ki Vaar. So just a recap. So Basant means spring. And there are a few Raag in Guru Granth Sahib Ji that are denoted to seasons. So we have the spring season, Basanta. We have Malar, which is for the rainy season. And Maharaj uses a lot of analogies, examples from nature to explain to us Jivatma, us humans, on how we can connect to Vaheguruji, how we can be one with Vaheguruji. So uses a lot of example from nature, using the example of a tree, of birds, of animals, of pani, of rain. So Basant ki Vaar is a bani from the 22 Vaars in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And it is the shortest Vaar because is bani de vich there's only 3 podiyan. So what is a Vaar? We know that Basant stands for spring season. Basant ki Vaar. So Vaar is a collection of salok and pauris which sing the praises of Vaheguru Ji. In some Baniya, Vaar could also stand for heroic poetry. Jang Judd Vele, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਾਰ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ when there's Bani that is being sung or speaks about any heroic manner, that ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਵਾਰ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ. But in this case, Vaar stands for collection of pauris and salok in the praise of Vaheguru Ji. But in Basant Ki Vaar, as we mentioned, pichle hafte, the story of how the Bani came about, that inni choti kidda Bani baniya, because Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, while they were reciting it, a langri came in and did beinti to please have langar and allowed the Sangat to have langar as well. So Basant Ki Vaar is one Bani that does not have any saluk. So we mentioned earlier that Vaar consists of Pauri and saluk, Hana? But this is also Maharaj showing us that Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj ਭਾਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ logic ਪਾਈਏ, that oh this means this means that, if we say Vaar means this, it must have that, if we say Ek Onkar is one God, if we say that Basant means spring, it must be that. But Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj many a times they break that logic and tell us that whatever you think is right might not be. There's always something else. So Basant Ki Vaar does not have any salok with it. It's only paudiyan. There's 10 paudiyan and 5 panktiyan in each paudi. So 15 panktiyan. Very short Bani. And I did a beinti last week that for us to be able to understand this Bani in Sangati Roop, so that there will be a connection between the speaker and also the listeners, I did a beinti for the Sangat to start adding Basant Ki Vaar into their Nitnem. So let's see. You know, Guru Sahib ete baithe ne, we have to be honest. Have we been doing Basant Ki Vaar in addition to our Nitne Baniya? Could I get some nods? Okay. Yes, I see some nods. Okay, so ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਹਫ਼ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ, ਇਟਸ ਓਕੇ. ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਦ ਗ੍ਰੇਟਨੈਸ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮਾਰੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਅਪਾਰ ਇੰਨੇ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਨੇ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਮੌਕਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ. ਦੇ ਹੈਵ ਗਿਵਨ ਅਸ ਅਨਦਰ ਚਾਂਸ. ਸੋ I'm doing another beinti that please, in order for us to understand better, because ek wari katha sun ke idna samjh nahi auni, it's just going to go past our head. Par je asi roj hi bani padhiye, you'll be surprised that andron hi kade kade vichar aa jande ne. From within, you will start having vichar, you will start having understanding of the Bani from within. So this is the beauty of Guru Sahib's Bani, Hana? So please do add Basant Ki Vaar Di Bani into your Nitnem. So next week is going to be our last vichar session on this Bani. And hopefully it will help us to understand better. So let's start on the vichar of Basant Ki Vaar Di Bani. So we have got through the title, Basant Ki Vaar Mahal Panjwa. Mahal Panjwa explains that this Bani is written by Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. And ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ normally in most of the Baniya or Hukamnames or Shabads, we have the word Mahalla. But in this Bani is written Mahal. So we have to be very careful when we are reading the Bani as well. Laga matra da sanu khyaal rakhna paina as well. Basant Ki Vaar Ik Oankar Satgur Prasad. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj starts this Bani with a Mangla Charan. Mangla Charan and invocation. So we are asking for blessings. We are putting something forward to Guru Sahib before we start writing the Bani. Ik Oankar Satgur Prasad. Hun Ik Oankar da arth. Again, Maharaj's Bani is Beyanta. So, but jinik apni buddhi ya, aap apni buddh hai jeti, baranata pin tohiti. We are going to try to understand. Ik Oankar. Normally in the English translation where we read on the screen, it would just say one God. it's quite that meaning, ਪਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੋਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਅਸੀਂ. So ik means one, definitely. Oankar, that ik, and here speaks about that Nirankar, that Nirgun Sarup Paramatma. Nirgun Sarup means Akal Purkh, Vaheguru Ji, that is without any form. The formless one, ik, Oankar. Ode vichon, from that formless Vaheguru came about the whole Kar, the whole creation that now we see is the Sargun Sarup Paramatma. So we have to understand there'll be a lot of new concepts being mentioned here. So Nirgun Sarup Paramatma, that one that has no form. So Jap Sahib de vich Maharaj kende ne chakar chahn ar baran jaat ar paat nahin jeh. Roop rang ar rekh pekh ko keh na sakat keh. Achal Murat Anpao Prakash Amitoj kahijai. So here Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is speaking about that Nirgun Sarup Paramatma, that one that we cannot describe. Nobody knows how that formless Vaheguru looks like, feels like, smells like, pata nahi hunda. We can't explain. ਪਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹੀ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਹੀ ਕਾਰ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ. The whole creation came about, and that is the Sargun Paramatma. Sargun means has gun, has form, and we can describe that person. Guna ਕਹਿੰਦੇ quality. So for example, Vijay's Dumala is very nice. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਗੁਣ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ. Vijay has a very radiant face. ਗੁਣ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ. ਸੋ what happens is that ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਉਣੇ ਆ, we look at the ਸਰਗੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ and we sing the praises of ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਣ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ. So Satgur Prasad means for us to be able to realize Ik Oankar, we need the Kirpa Prasad, the blessings of Satgur, of the true Guru. From the true Guru, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਦਾ realization ਪੈਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ. We'll get the realization of Ik through our true Guru. So ਸਾਡੇ ਸੱਚੇ ਗੁਰੂ, our true Guru ਕੌਣ ਹੈ? ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ. Through the Bani in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, we will then understand Ik Oankar. So in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Ik Oankar to shuru honda, and Ik Oankar is the Bij mantra. Bij means seed. Bij mantra. And from Ik Oankar, the whole Bani Mool mantra came about, and the Japji Sahib came about, then the whole Guru Granth Sahib Ji is just expanding. Explaining Ik Oankar, then explaining Satnam, what is Naam, explaining Nirpao quality, Nirvair quality. But from all that expansion, our goal is to go back to that seed, go back to Ik. So how that can happen is Satgur Prasad, through the kirpa of the true Guru. So even in Bani such as Dakhni Oankar in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, it starts off with Onam Akhar Sunho Bichar. So we have a lot of times in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, we have the Patti Likhi Bani, explains about each alphabet. Penti akhar na sade Oda, Era, Idi, Sassa, Haha. A lot of Gurmukh Mahapurkh na, ਇਹ 35 ਅੱਖਰ ਦਾ ਜਾਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. when they get up, the first thing they used to do was to do 35 ਅੱਖਰ ਜਾਪ. ਊੜਾ, ਐੜਾ, ਈੜੀ, ਸੱਸਾ, ਹਾਹਾ. ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹ ਅੱਖਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਮੁੱਖੋਂ ਉਚਾਰਨ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ. And imagine ਇਹੀ ਅੱਖਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ. So now in Dakhni Onkar Bani, Maharaj is saying On Nam Akhar. So the Akhar of O, Ura, Oang, On Nam Akhar Sunho Vichar. Listen to this Vichar, this wisdom. And what's the Vichar Guru Sahib is saying? On Nam Akhar Trepa Vansar. That from this Akhar, the Oang, the sound, Ik Oankar, Trepa Vansar. The whole three worlds that we can see, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, the worlds above, the worlds beneath that we can't see, Trepa Vansar, ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਹ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਈ ਆ. From that beej, from that Oang, ਉੱਥੋਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਈ ਆ. Even in Bani, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Bani also, they put a stamp on this and they say, what do they say? Pranavo Ad Ekankara Jal Thal Mahiyal Kiyo Pasara. So Pranavo first, Ad in the beginning, Ekankara is Ik Oankar. And from that Ik Oankar, Jal Thal Mahiyal Kiyo Pasara. So Jal, Pani, Thal, earth, And Mahil, the space between this earth, the sky, this whole space expansion, Kiyo Pasara, came about from the Ek Oankar. So imagine starting something with just Ek Oankar. Oda vi to do vichar of Ek Oankar in itself will take so long time, Hana. So we move on. Ek Oankar Satgur Prasad. And Maharaj is starting their Bani with Har ka naam tiai ka ho harya pai. Har ka naam tiai ka. In this first pankti itself, Maharaj speaks about Dhyan. So, Sangaji, you will then realize many a times in this Bani, Maharaj has repeated the word Dhyan when you're going to focus on that as well. Har ka naam. The name of Hari, the name of Vaheguruji, the mantra that we have been given, the name of Akal Purkh. Of course, ek oankar da naam bhi kuch hai nahi. There's no there his name, a naam hai. In Jap side we say that Vaheguruji, ek is a naam, there's no name to it. But the mantra that we have been given in Kaljuk by Guru Nanak Dev Ji is Vaheguru Gur mantra hai jap ho main khoi. So this is the hukam. Vaheguru is the Guru's mantra. Jap, we have to do jap simran of it. And ki hunda home khoi. We lose our ego. We become egoless. Okay? So har ka naam tyai ke. So doing dhyan, meditation, simran of Vaheguru. What happens? Ho harya pai. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj in the same rag, Maharaj speaks about Kaljug. And they say, Ab kalu ayo re, ek naam boho boho. They say, oh, dekho sikho, ab kalu. Now Kaljug has come. And what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to plant in this Kaljug? Ek naam boho boho. We are supposed to plant ek naam. Plant where? Sade hirde de vich, in our hearts. So Guru Sai speaks about har ka naam tyai ke ho harya pai. So harya means to be blossoming, to be green. जो जैसे दरख्त ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ हैं, it's full, it's flourishing, it's green, it's vibrant. We want to be like that. But how is that tree able to be so green, so full, so vibrant, so alive? ਕਿਉਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੈਂਦਾ. ਇੱਕ ਦਰਖਤ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ? ਪਾਣੀ. So now Guru Sahib is telling us, for us to be harya parya, for us to flourish. When I speak about us here, do not think about this body. Later on, we will speak about this body, this mind, this soul, and we will break from that mindset that I am this body. So for now, we will just continue. So to make ourselves, to make this jeev flourish, Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, we have to do ਧਿਆਨ of naam. ਮਤਲਬ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੋ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ, we don't do any simran, we don't do any ਧਿਆਨ, we don't do any meditation on Vaheguru, automatically ਬੰਦਾ ਮਰਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ, is dead. ਭਾਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ alive ਹਾਂ, physically we are alive, but we are dead from within. If you look at Puratan Gursikhs, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਿਹਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਹਰਿਆ ਭਰਿਆ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, how full, how flourishing they are, how much they are blossoming, just by looking at their face, just by looking at how radiant their faces are. Even in UK, Sangaji, I come from Malaysia, but there's so many Sangha, there's so many Gursikh Brahmgyanis in the UK who are so imbued in the love of Vaheguru. They do so much of Simran that when you look at their face, automatically ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੀ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਚਾਲੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. And they are so alive. ਭਾਵੇਂ ਬਿਰਧ ਹੋਣ, even though they're old or even though they're young, you can sense that they are so alive from within. And what does it mean to be alive? Maharaj explains later in this Bani as well. So when we do dhyan, we meditate, we focus on something. So an easy way to explain is, as a human, we are so used to believing in what we see. So for now, first step would be, when we do dhyan, if we do dhyan of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, then we will have that picture of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, a photo that we connect to. That image would be in our mind and we'll be doing dhyan of that. And what happens when we do dhyan is that our focus is 100% on the picture of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and nothing else. So you can imagine it that way. Or some people would do dhyan of when we do Vaheguru Simran, they would imagine in their mind the akkar va ha ga ra. Va ha ha ga ga and rara. So they'll be doing dhyan of those akkar as well. But the idea is to focus, is to be so still that you're not worried about what's happening around you, about any sound effect, any lights flickering. You're not focused on that. Your focus is just on one thing. So now Sangat vich baithe hain, we can also do dhyan. How? When our focus is entirely on what is being spoken about. Not what movement is happening, who is turning their head, what this person is wearing. No. So now reflect upon yourself whether are you doing dhyan as well or not. So now Maharaj is saying the first thing in this Bani is Har ka naam dhyaai ke. So imagine the importance of doing Simran, the importance of coming into Sangat and doing Naam Japna, doing dhyan. Amazingly, we think that this idea is just a Sikhi concept. There's this book that I recently started reading. It's an English book. It's called After Death, Letters from Julia. And this Gauri, she's a Christian. And she writes her experiences after she passes away in the afterworld. And she is entering the body of her friend and writing down whatever questions that person, her friend has in his mind. She will answer those questions through his hand. And now, so he asks these questions like, what is it like to be in the other world? Or how is your life there? Or what is it different like to this world here? She explains about how sorrowful, how much pain this world goes through and all that. And then she says something really amazing in her story. She says, the remembrance of his name for 5 minutes, even a day, could be a big support for you in this world. So now let me just repeat it and you try to connect it to what Gurbani says, what Mara says, yeah, to Sikhi. The remembrance of his name for even 5 minutes a day could be a big support for you in this world, in the afterworld. And now if we translate that into Punjabi, into Gurbani, what does remembrance of his name means? Simran. And a Gauri is saying that. And for 5 minutes, she said just for 5 minutes, even if you can't do like 1 hour, 5 minutes a day. And Maharaj ki kende ne Bani de vich, Kabir ek kadi, adi hoon te aad. Bhaktan seti goste jo kino so labh. Ek kadi, 24 minutes, adi kadi, 12. Adi hoon, 6 minutes, te aad, 3 minutes. Bhaktan seti goste ਜੋ ਕੀਨੋ ਸੋ ਲਾਭ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ 3 ਮਿੰਟ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਉਨਾ ਲਾਭ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ. And when I read that, I was like, whoa. Maharaj ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਚਨ ਕਰਤੇ ਆ. But human intellect, we think that this Western world has more to provide us than Gurbani. And when I read that, I was like, Maharaj ne ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਤਾ, but I needed reaffirmation from this book. So now we have to fall back to where we come from, fall back to Gurbani. A lot of Western philosophies, mindfulness, law of attraction, meditation, all these have been mentioned by Guru Nanak Dev Ji 500 years ago. They are not new terms. So, har ka naam dhyaai ke ho harya paye. A Sikh, O Sikh, doing the dhyan, doing the Simran of Vaheguru Ji, you can also be harya parya, you can also flourish, you can also blossom. Means every day you're happy. You can automatically see the difference in your life when you start doing Simran. Then Maharaj continues and they say, Karma likhante paiye ehurut suhai. So now this is going to be a bit heavy because we're going to go into the idea of Karam. So Maharaj ki kende ne Karam likhante paiye. So we know Karam, what Karam means, na? Our actions, our past lives actions and all that. Likhante paiye. So through the karams that we have done now, past lives and all that, Good karam, eho rut suhai. Karam likhante paiye. Paiye means to get, to obtain what? Eho rut suhai. Rut means season. Suhai means this beautiful season. So what is Maharaj referring to when they say this beautiful season? We obtain it through good karam. They are saying this body. What does Maharaj say about this body? This manas janama. Manasa janama vad punne paya. Dehe so kanchana changadiyan. So Maharaj is saying, Manasa Janam, the life, the jivan of a human, the life of a human being, Vad Punne Paya is only obtained through good karam, through doing good actions. Punna karke in a janam a body paunde asi. This kapda, this rutta. Dehe so kanchan changadiyan. This body is even beautiful, even more expensive than kanchan, than gold. How much Ustad Maharaj has done for this body, because why? It is through this physical body we can do bhakti. So now, what is this concept of karam? Hana? Karam likhante paye. So we're going to delve into karam right now. So for this, we will need full focus. There are 3 types of karam. Now, here is where we can imagine and visualize. So imagine a pool. And Maharaj gives us 3 types of karam. There's paralabdh karam, sanchit karam, and kiriman karam. How do we get this body? It's from that pool of karam. There is few karams picked up from previous lives, whichever previous lives that we have been in. Karams picked up, and from that small bag of karam, we bring that into this world, and we go through the consequences of those karam. So now people ask questions, right? Why am I born poor? Why am I born with so much difficulties in my life? Why is my child born with, for example, any disability? Or why is this person rich and all that? The answer is paralabdha karam. It's because each one of us, when we come into this world, we have a small bag of karam that we bring from all our previous lives, and we have to pay for it in this life. Okay. So now, jere baki de karama in that pool, the rest that we do not bring into this life, we do not have to go through the consequences, they are called sanchit karam. So othi rende in that pool. Now, when we do Naam Simran, Har ka naam te aik hai, when we do Naam Simran, Sanchit Karam are the first ones to get destroyed, are the first one to be finished. So all the karam of all our previous lives that we haven't paid for yet will be first destroyed when we do Naam Simran, when we do Bhakti, when we do Seva, when we come into Sangat. And then what happens is that hor Bhakti karan de naal, the karam, the paralabdha karam that we have to pay for in this life, the effect, the consequences gets less painful. So we can look at it this way. This is where gratitude will automatically come in when you go through pain. Imagine you were going to go through a really heavy, massive accident where maybe your arm was going to get broken, or lat tutta jani si, you might have to pay like so much money just to get your car fixed, and medical insurance and all that. But because we have done so much bhakti in our life, we have done so much simran, done whatever Maharaj ne hukam sanu bakshya, we have followed that hukam of coming into Sangat, doing what they tell us to do, maybe that massive accident would have just been a small one and we would just go away with a scratch. But as a human, we won't look at that positive part of it. We will still blame and say, "Hi, aaki ho gaya." And what happens is we add more karam to it. So the third type of karam, kiriman karam, is the karam that we start collecting in this life. New karams. But Maharaj Kandeya, you have to get rid of all your karams in order to become one with Vaheguru. So you need to clear that pool. You need to clear all your karam accounts, like zero balance in the karam account, for you to then go back to Vaheguru. jyoti jyot rali. Asi ਭੁੱਲ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ Maharaj is telling us that, okay, you have this small bag of karam you need to bring to this world and get it done with, clear it out. And asi ਹੋਰ karam ਪਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੇ, we're trying to thunna more stuff into that little bag. By what? Mana, bacha, and our actions. Through thinking negative thoughts, saying negative words. So imagine that going back to the same accident, we go away with a scratch. Someone, a Gursikh, would immediately say, Vaheguru tera shukar hai Maharaj. Hor vadda kuch kukaram ho jana siga. Something massive would have happened, but you have saved me. So fall back to Maharaj, fall back to Maharaj. But then what would a manmukh do? Hai, aaki ho gaya, paise tarne pehne a, scratch ho gaya mainu. You know, inna badda kam pe gaya hona, gaddi load karni pehni hai. So things like that. And then we add more karam to it because we are blaming Maharaj. We are not accepting the hukam of Maharaj. So we have covered Pralabdha Karam. We understand that, right? Sanchit Karam. And now Kiriman Karam is the Karam that we are now collecting in this world. And we do that, again, like I mentioned earlier, is through our thoughts, our words, and our actions that we commit. So a lot of the time, Karam is created through our senses. Our eyes, our hands, our legs, our tongue, especially this tongue here, a jeeb, this mouth, and this eyes, and this kanna, these three things. Ede vichyo inne karam paida honde a that people like me will be like, Maharaj, main kidda nikla ede to? How am I going to get free of creating more karam? You know? So Maharaj kende ne karam likhante paiye. So when we go to Pralabdha Karam, Gurbani says, Karmi ave kappada nadri mokh dwar. So a Pralabdha Karam de karke Karmi ave kappada. So kappada again referring to this body. Nadri mokh dwar. So Guru Sahib di nadar ne na bakshish na mokh di prapati ho jandi hai. They will get liberation. And then Maharaj again in the same in Gurbani says again about Sanchit Karam, which will be the first one to be destroyed when we start doing Nam Siran. They say, Gur ka shabda kate kot karam. So Gur ka shabda kate kot karam will cut, will destroy all the karam just by following Guru's shabad, by doing what Maharaj is asking us to do. So then we get this rutta, this body. Karam likhante paiye, eho rutta suhai. This beautiful body is through the karam that we have brought into this life. So now Maharaj kende ne, what is the difference between us and animals then? Why is this rutta, why is this body so pavitr? Why is it manas janama vad punne paya? So there is similarities between us and animals as well. What we eat, animals also eat, they breathe, we breathe, sleep, they sleep too. They do poga, we also do poga. Pog means having a relationship with the opposite gender. But the difference is that we have Bibek Buddhi. We have the intellect, that higher intellect that Maharaj has given us. Why? For us to be able to use this intellect to understand the wisdom of Gurbani that is telling us that you are the Jyot of Vaheguru and you're in this world to go back to Vaheguru. Don't forget your roots. That's why in Gurbani, Maharaj kende ne, kartoot pasu ki manas jaat. Because Maharaj ne sanu manas jaat ta bakshya par sade kartootan hi pasuan manguan. And imagine Maharaj, sometimes I have these conversations with Guru Sahib. You have this relationship with Guru. Imagine any of the Guru that you connect to very well. So imagine, I'm imagining having this conversation with Guru Amar Das Ji and go like, Maharaj, you're telling me off like kartoot pasu ki manas jaat. So imagine like animals fighting with each other, lob de karke that I want that meat and I do not want you to have it. Assi vi ohi karde hain. And Guru Sahib is telling us like, Vaheguru, sikho. Tanu ethe bhejya ki karnu waste tusi kari ki janne a. But we can't see that yet. We can't experience, we can't realize that. Kyun aise parda lagya hoya sade akkhan de upar. The mirror that we are standing in front of, trying to realize who I truly am, that's really dirty. Ganda hoya paya, and ganda hoya paya. And sometimes women will understand this. Jado kar inna matlab ਖਿਲਾੜਾ ਪਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਇੰਨਾ ਗੰਦ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦਾ sometimes you just look at it and go like ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਕ ਗਈ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਫਾਈ ਕਰਨੀ I'm not going to do anything man because it's going to get dirty again ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਢੀਠ stubborn ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ they go like ਭਾਵੇਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਵੀ ਗੰਦ ਹੋਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ and that's the function of Simran. That's what Simran's going to do. So you look at that mirror and go like, inna ganda mirror, so dirty. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. And you go like, you know what? I'm going to clean it. And you clean it again. Fair ganda ho jana because you keep creating more karam. Fair mirror ne ganda ho jana. But you go like, you know what? I'm going to clean it again. So nischa apne man de vich rakhna that whatever happens, if the mirror gets dirty, I'm just going to keep cleaning until one day, even the mirror gets fed up of getting dirty. Appe apne aap hi saaf ho juga. I want to reach to that state. And it will happen. Guru Sahib di kirpa de naal. Par I will explain later on as well about kirpa. So Mark kende ne, we have vivek buddhi. And with that buddhi, with that intellect, we need to understand why are we here. Pehla sanu pata hi nahi vi assi ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਕਿਉਂ ਆ. So many times, the first thing I always ask the Sangha that I interact with is, do you know your purpose of life? Do you know why you're even here? And they go like, kade sochya nahi. Fir soch lo. Think about it. Why am I even here? And I'm not talking about the worldly goals like paise kamone, bacche jamone, you know, hor kuch kam karna. No, not that. The bigger goal. Why am I here? And I being not this body. What is that I? We will talk about it later. So Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਦੇਹੀ ਕੋ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਦੇਵ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੇਵੀ ਦੇਵਤੇ ਆ ਨਾ the 33 crore the 33 millions ਦੇਵੀ ਦੇਵਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇਹੀ ਕੋ ਸਿਮਰੇ ਦੇਵ even the devte are yearning to get this body so dehi use that body pajhar ki sev to do seva of Vaheguru Ji. And what does it mean to do seva of Vaheguru Ji? Is to do their Simran. Yesterday in the course camp, the Hukamnama came out about doing seva of Vaheguru Ji. Some of the Bibi are here, they would understand. They would remember. And what does it mean to do seva of Vaheguru Ji? Is to do their harjas, is to do their kirtan, to sing their praises, means to do their Simran. So dehi pajhar ki seva. That's what Maharaj is trying to say. So, Karam likhante paiye eho rut suhai. And Maharaj continues, they go, Vana trana trepavana maulya amrit falapai. So Maharaj is giving another analogy now. Vana, forest. Trana, a blade of grass, like really thin. Trepavana, the three worlds mentioned earlier. Maulya means to blossom, to flourish. Amrit falapai. When the amrit, so forest vaste, if you think about it, what is amrit for forest, for nature? For grass, for plants, for the trees. What is amrit for them? Any clue? Pani. Pani is amrit for nature. It's amrit for trees. Doddu nu vi amrit kende ya. Te nature vaste for this forest, pani is amrit for them because pani de rahi fir they become alive. They are able to be green. They are able to give up flowers. They are able to give fruits. Now, bring it back to us. So Maharaj is giving this example that amrit for this trees, this blade of grass, onna de vaste amrit jalya, pani, because they become alive when there's pani, when it starts raining, that rain is amrit for them. Sade vaste amrit kiya. We also are like that tree who's trying to flourish as well, trying to blossom. Asi marya ta, we don't want to be dead, we want to be alive. Te Maharaj kende ne, jere sade Indriya, our senses, we have this 5 Gyan Indriya, the eyes, the ears, the skin from which we get Gyan of this world, and the Karam Indriya means the organs from which we do our actions, the hands, the feet, the mouth, and then our Antekaran, our mind, Buddha, our intellect, our consciousness, our memory, all this that makes up us, that's me. And then Trepavan, the 3 bodies that this body is made up of. Now we go to that question. I am not this body. What am I made up of? ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਸਰੀਰ ਬਾਹਰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, this sathul sarir, they call it, this is made up of panch tat, 5 elements: the earth, the fire, the pani, the ether. It's made up of 5 elements. So when this body is going to leave, so when we say oh mar gaya, oh banda, chadai kar gaya, pura ho gaya, this body just goes back to where it comes from. So the earth element is going to go back to the earth. The fire element will just go back to the fire. Because we just burn this body and that's it. Sarir ta marda thoda ya. The sarir doesn't die. So what makes us, and then atma, so we have the mind, body and soul. So sarir thoda marda, it doesn't die. It goes back to wherever it comes from. And the atma doesn't die. Atma is sada, is always alive because it is a part of Paramatma. Atma, Paratma, Eko Kare. So Gurbani says Atma and Paratma. Paramatma, Eko Kare is one. It's not two. So what dies then? I'm not the body. Body doesn't die. Atma doesn't die. So what dies then? When we say Koi mar janda, what dies? It is the second layer of this body that is made up of the mind, the indriya, the gyan indriya, the karam indriya, the 5 different breath, which is another really big topic, and the mind and the intellect. That part of this body with all the CCTV recording of what we have done in this world, oh fir jandaya, lekha jokha denu. That part of the body then dies. That's what it means when we say someone dies. That's part of the body, the indriya, the panch karam indriya, panch gyan indriya, panch pran, the man and the buddha. That part of the body, which is second layer, that dies and go to Karamraj and gives Lekha Jokha. Then all our CCTV recordings of what we have done in this life, our man bach karam, everything comes forward, comes in front of you and says like, tu aa kita, tu aa kita, tu aa kita, and you can't escape from it. Fir onu lekha dena penda. So Mara kendane ethe van trin trepavan. Now this body, which is also a forest made up of all these little, the small elements, tripan molya, this whole body, this whole little elements that makes up this body is also flourishing. How? Amrit fal pai. So is body de vaste, for this jeev atma, what is amrit? Jungle de vaste amrit pani hunda ya. Jadon mii penda oh amrit auna de vaste. Ek chatrik, the songbird. What is that amrit for the songbird? Is ek boond, that swanti boond from that rain that jadon move vich penda, oh de vaste amrit hunda. So sade vaste amrit ki hai? Any thoughts from the Sangat? That is for the forest. What is amrit for us? It's already, the answer is in the first pankti itself. Har ka naam. So sade vaste amrit kiya is that naam, that mantra that Vaheguru ji has, that Guru Sahib has given us, Vaheguru. Oda simran karnu, o sade vaste amrit ya. That then gives us life. Kyun? Man de rahi, only through the mind we'll be able to understand that I am Atma. Because now we have associated ourselves with this body. The ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ body ਨਾਲ associate ਕਰਾਂਗੇ that I am this body, ਫਿਰ ਦੁੱਖ ਤਾਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੀ ਆ. Then you're not going to be flourishing. You're always going to think about all the ਦੁੱਖ you're going through, all the pain you're going through. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਆ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨੇ ਆ ਕਰਤਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਲੈ ਲਏ, ਉਹਨੇ ਆ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ. So we're always going to be going through that I am this body, ਤਾਂਿਓ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੁਝ ਹੁੰਦਾ. But if you think that you are the Atma, Atma na marda, Atma cha na dukh honda, na sukh honda. Because Paramatma doesn't have dukh sukh, Paramatma doesn't die. It's always constant in Ananda. So what is the roop of Atma and Paramatma is Sada Sachdanand. Jab sa vich onda hai na? Sada Sachdanand Sarvang Paranasi. So the form of that Atma, that your true form is Sat, is true. Sat means constant. It doesn't get changed. In the past, in the present, in the future. It's constant. It's always same, unchanging. O satya. ਹੁਣ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੋ what is true in this world? Can anybody tell me what is true now in this world? Are you true? Am I true? Yeah, that Atma. We're going to use the word Atma. Only Atma Satya, that is permanent, unchanging. Paramatma is unchanging. Then Sat, Sada Satchidanand, Sat Chit means you are conscious of yourself, you know who you are, and you're able to see that same self in other people as well. ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਤਮਾ ਦੇਖ, ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਵੇਖਣਾ ਤੇ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਵੇਖਣਾ. You're able to recognize that whatever is in me is also in you. And then Ananda. And how is this Atma always in? What state is this Atma always in? Always in Ananda. And you can't explain Ananda. You have to experience it. And you don't get Ananda. You know, when we say Sanu Sokha Melda, Sanu Dokha Melda, which means it's somewhere and you're getting it. Sanu A milya si, Sanu O milya si. A banda menu otthe milya si means you had to go there and you met that person. But Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda, you don't get it. You are. You just become. The once you have realized that I am Atma and I am always Ananda, always in peace, always at that constant state, then you don't get affected by the dukkha that this body goes through. Pave dukkha aavi jave, you're not affected. You go, eta mara da hukam hai. So, Soji, this is because this is the reason why inu samajhan vaste mare sanu manush jeevan datta. And we are separate from animals in this sense. Because why we have that Vivek Buddhi, that intellect to understand all of this. And go back to Vaheguru. So Maharaj is then saying, Van trin tripavana molya amrita phal pai. Then they continue and say, Mil sadhu sukh upajai lathi sab shai. So mil sadhu. When we meet a Gursikh, or someone, a Gursikh, a Brahmgyani, a Mahapurush, a Sant, a Sadhu, who is, all these terms, they mean the same. One who is already, this person who's already one with Vaheguru. Ekmek hoge. They have realized their true self. They have realized that they are Atma. They are able to see that Atma, that Paramatma in everybody else. And they're always in Ananda. So mil sadhu, jado fir inna nu milde hain, what happens? Sukha upajai. We get that Ananda, we get into Sukha upajai. You see, even the way Maharaj is saying, Sukha upajai means to pargat hona, to just come from within. Gurbani vich Maharaj kende ne sab kich ਘਰ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਾਹੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਢੋਲੇ ਸੋ ਭਰਮ ਭੁਲਾਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁੱਖ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਹਾਂ Maharaj tells us up front, ਬਾਹਰ ਢੋਲੇ you find from outside, so ਭਰਮ ਭੁਲਾਈ ਫਿਰ ਭਗਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸੁੱਖ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸੁੱਖ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ Maharaj is saying ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਘਰ ਮੈਂ so now what is the ਘਰ so in Gurbani Maharaj has referred to this body as with many words ਰੁੱਤ ਘਰ ਕੱਪੜਾ ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਘਰ ਮੈਂ everything is from within so ਆਨੰਦ ਸੁੱਖ ਵੀ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਹੀ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ So Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਮਿਲ ਸਾਧੂ ਸੁਖ ਉਪਜੈ So when you meet these Gursikhs, automatically ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਵੀ ਆਨੰਦ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ You start feeling that sukha, you start feeling that joy from within, that oh my Vaheguru, I'm feeling alive. When you come into Sangat, you should ask the Bibiyan who just came back from the course camp today. Sada ji karda hi nahi si chaddan nu because we felt so alive. The energy was so strong. We were together and we just wanted to keep doing Sangat. We just wanted to keep doing Simran, keep doing Kirtan. Penji would just say, should we do Samapti? Anybody wants to say something? And somebody would put up the hand and say, can I do a Shabad? And we are done. And then anybody else wants to say anything? Can I do another Shabad? And we'll go on and on and on. No dunyavi galna. Inna sukha. Everybody felt so in peace, so in joy. That is how you can experience it, how you can explain a bit what you feel when you're in Ananda. And then Mara says, Mil sadhu sukh upje, lathi sab shai. Lathi means destroy, like uttargi, like gone. Sab shai. Shai means what? All that mad, the dirt that I was speaking about on that mirror. That, you know, you can't see your true self on that mirror. So ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਧੂਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ, we get into that ਸਤ ਸੰਗਤ and we get into ananda, we understand, ਗਿਆਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ, oh, I am this atma. And then lati sabshai, all that malo on that mirror, apne aap, remember I said the goal is to get the mirror to clean itself. And then lati sabshai, appe mel, apne aap hi mirror clear ho janda. I go like, oh, that's who I am. This whole time I've been thinking I'm this body, but I'm not. But ek kidda hona, Mars gives us a tip. You want to recognize your true self? Go into sangat of those who have recognized themselves. But then, how are we going to recognize these people? That when we meet them, sanu anand hunda. So Gurbani says, Jis miliye man hoye anand, so satgur kahiye. Jis miliye, when you meet these people, man hoye anand, you start feeling that joy from within. That I want to continue doing Simran. I want to continue coming into Sangat. I want to continue doing Part. Oh, I might want to do Santya. I want to do this. I want to do that. मैं गतका सीखना है. मैं सेवा करनी है महाराज दी. So Satguru कहिए. फिर वो true. That is true Guru. So a lot of people, they find that joy, that ananda when they come into the charan, into the presence of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. There are so many people until now. Kante bas Maharaj de agge बैठे ही रहंदे हैं. क्यों? They find ananda. And then you will have people asking, "To theek hai? Do you need anything? Like you're here for like 5 hours ago already." Kyun unna nu nahi samjhe ondi. They don't understand that I'm actually in Ananda. I don't need anything. Just by sitting with the true Guru. And you, at that point, Sangat ji, you don't care about the world. Bhi mainu loki ki kende ya, main kalli baithi ha te 5 ਘੰਟੇ ho gaye. You don't care about the world. All you want to do is be in that state. And just to be in that Ananda state, you will do anything. Even if you need to go against the society, even if you need to lose your friends, log ki kehnge, mere friends ki kehnge, that doesn't matter when your goal is I want to get that ananda, I want to get that feeling, that experience, that joy, and I want to find myself. And that happens, mil sadhu sukh upajay lathi sab shai. That happened with Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj as well. You know, Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj have already met Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj when the wedding of Bibi Amro Ji happened. ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮਿਲੇ ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ. And Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj were already Guru at that time. And at that time, Pai Amar Das Ji, they have already met Guru Angad Dev Ji. But then, nothing happened at that time yet. ਜਦੋਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਐਨ ਪਿਆਸ ਉੱਠੀ, when someone called Pai Amar Das Ji a Nigura, that you have no Guru, you can't have langar with me. Andro, matlab inni chot aayi, they felt so hurt from within, and that andro pyas uthi that I want to find this Guru. I want to belong to a master. I want to belong to a Guru. And then they went back home. Ohi, the same Bani that Bibi Amruji used to recite at home. It was the same Bani they used to recite every day. But Aj Kanna vich pay, and Pai Amar Das Ji asking, Kinna di kidi Bani ya? Where did you get this Bani from? It's really soothing. And they go like, oh, this is the Bani of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and now the Guru is my father, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. My Kuram. And I didn't have that eyes to see yet, but Honno o Sissa got cleared up. And now they go to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj with a different vision, with a different mindset, that they are no longer my Kuram, but I want them to be my Guru. I want to be their Sikha. Same thing. ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ. We ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ, we listen to ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ, but for most of us, we have not hit that point. ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਚੋਟ ਪਹੁੰਚਦੀ ਹੈ, ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਰਹੀ? What have I done until now? I have not realized my true self. ਫਿਰ ਜਦੋਂ when we come to that point of realization, then the way we look at Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the way we interact with Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the way we understand, we listen to Guru Granth Sahib Ji, even the way we sing Gurbani will change, will totally change. Then you have people who are so in Ananda, they'll be closing their eyes and they'll be enjoying Gurbani. They'll be singing so loud, they'll be smiling, they'll be crying. Then you look at them and say, he's experiencing something different. Interesting. So we want to reach that state. But how it happens? Mil sadhu, sukha upajay. We have to find that one person who can connect us to Vaheguru Ji. So it's already 7 o'clock. I'm going to end with this last pankti of that first pauri. Nanak simra ek naam fir bohar na tai. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, they're ending the same pauri with again this first thing that they said, Har ka naam tia ke. Now they're ending with the same thing. Nanak simra ek naam fir, then bohar na tai. Tai means to wander around aimlessly. So our wandering around is 84 lakh June. The Avagan coming and going, coming and going. And Guru Sahib kende ne, ek naam da simran karke, then we don't have to go through that cycle of life and death. And I don't know about you all, Sangaji, but then our aim should be that we do not want to come back into this world. Honata dunya haegi ani mari. The world is already not a nice place. There's so much dukkha going on in this world. And imagine us having to die and maybe in a few years' time come back into this world and go through the same thing again. Who wants to go through that? Anybody interested? Not interested? Fair, you should have already set your mind from now that, you know what, I do not want to come back. So when you have that thought in your mind that I do not want to come back, automatically you are going to be so focused that Jeri Mari Sangat or whatever negative influence you have around you is all going to be gone. You're not going to be, you do not want to waste your energy on things that are going to stop you from getting to your goal, which is, I just want to be one with Vaheguru and not come back into this world anymore. Then you wouldn't care. Then you'll be like Mastane, like Pai Sutresha, Pai Kanaiyaji, who doesn't care about the world. Their aim is just to be one with Vaheguru. They don't care what the world says. There's this, our Jere Sade Purane Buzurg Honde, I lived with my grandparents. And they would always say, Jodo si na complain kar diya, haan, ene menu aai keta, ene mere na aai karta. And my dada dadi would say like, kyun tu ode to amb lene ya? De tu inna sochda ode baare. Apna kam kar, bhajan bandagi kar, mara appe dekh luga. For us now, it makes so much sense to me. Even just saying like that, they don't care about the world. Jere sade purane buzurg, why Sikhi now is so diluted? Or we have this complaints that sade jere naujawan jere sade bacche o Sikhi naal nahi judde. We need to fall back. We need to look at how our purane buzurg, how our grandparents, jere puratan Gursikh, o kina Sikhi naal jude, and they're staying in the same world. Guru Sahib isi dunya che aaye sige, not in Mars or Pluto, in the same earth. But what became different? So we need to contemplate on that. So I'm going to end on this note. Nanak simre ek naam fir bohar na tai. Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj is telling us that we don't have to come back into this world anymore, but through doing simran of ek naam. So ek da dhyan karna. And to do the dhyan of Ekka, we need to understand the Ekka. We need to understand that we are the Sroop of Ekka. And we need to clean that mirror. Realize who we truly are. We are not this body. We are a part of Ekka. But we are going to use this body to do bhakti and to connect to that Vaheguru. But that's it. That's it. We just want to end it in this life and never come back. So my aim was to be able to do 2 pauriyan and then maybe end it next week with, with the 3rd pauri. But we only managed to cover 1 pauri in 1 hour. So hopefully next week we'll be able to do the other 2 pauriyan. But again, I'm going to end with this benti to be able to really understand, contemplate कि अंदरों से विचार करनी है बाणी दी. I will do is this beinti that please add the Bani of Basant ki Vaar into your Nityanem. It's really short, like 15 panktiyan. You can do it less than 2 minutes. If you do it slow, 3 minutes. But abhyas kar de naal, less than 2 minutes, you're going to do it. And it's not difficult at all. So please forgive me for any mistakes I've done in my action, in my words, the way I speak. I'm a fellow Malaysian, so our accent might be different, or the way we speak. I understand sometimes certain words I say might not be compatible with the UK English language, or the way my expressions are, even that could be different. But Malaysia च चलदा आ. So ਇੱਥੇ शायद I'm not sure, है ना? So ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ, you accept, you understood, ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੱਲੇ ਬੰਨ ਲੈਣਾ, practice it. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਝੋਲੀ 'ਚ ਪਾ ਦਿਓ, ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੋ ਇਹਨੇ ਆਏ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਹਨੇ ਆਏ ਕਿਹਾ, ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਸ ਜਾਣਾ. We're going to get into the same cycle of creating more karam, and we don't want to do that. All right? So please forgive me for any mistakes I've done. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.